Okay, so I have an idea.
Yes.
Top 500 Caterpies.
You're joking, right?
What? Of course not.
Okay, where do I start? Well, there's only one Caterpie, so how are you supposed to do a top 500 list of this?
What are you talking about? There's this one, and 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 that one, and this 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 one, and that one, and that one, and this one, and this one.
Shut up! Okay, you can't do a top 500 Caterpie list. It just wouldn't make sense, okay?
But I want to do something. I thought it was a good idea.
How about top 5 bug Pokemon?
You mean like top 5 Caterpies?
One of them can be Caterpie.
So like 1 Caterpie and 4 Butterfrees?
Please leave.
Alright.
Hello everybody and welcome to my top 5 bug type Pokemon list. Now before we begin, I do have a rule that I can only have one Pokemon from an evolutionary line. Just thought I would throw that out there before we begin. As always, I highly encourage you to tell me what your favorite bug type Pokemon are. Of course, I always prefer when you guys give me reasons why you like each Pokemon instead of just telling me their names, but that's completely up to you. Now you've seen enough of these lists to know how it works, so without wasting any more time, let's move on. Number 5, Galavant Chula. So fun fact, I'm actually terrified of spiders. So why is Galavant Chula on this list? Well, I'm gonna let you guys in on a deep, dark secret of mine. Something that will likely change the way you look at me for the rest of eternity. I don't know. Yeah, it really goes against all logic since I hate spiders, but when has anything ever made sense in the Pokemon world? For some reason, I just love Galavant Chula's design. I'm not a huge fan of Joltik, probably because I'm terrified I'll end up stepping on it one day. I've been trying to think of a good reason to explain to you guys why exactly I like Galavant Chula. I've always wanted to see an electric grass type, and I guess this is the closest thing we have. Bug Buzz, Discharge, and Giga Drain hits a lot of Pokemon really hard, and the grass type moves Galavant Chula can learn help it counter its weakness to rock types. Plus, if you teach it Rain Dance, you can scare away the fire types with 100% accurate thunders. Aside from my brief run with one in my Blaze Black Nuzlocke, I haven't really had the chance to use one in game. I've been wanting to run in Wi-Fi battles, but I just haven't had the motivation to train one. But a set running Compound Ice Thunder, along with its respectable speed stat, makes it seem like it could be a very dangerous threat. Did you guys know? When Galavant Chulas are under attack, they create electric barriers by spitting out many electrically charged threads. That when introduced in Black and White, Electro Web was actually the signature move of Joltik and Galavant Chula. And that Galavant Chula actually learns Thunder Wave twice, once at the start and once again at level 4. Number 4, Heracross. So I have this problem whenever I play through the Johto games. No matter what I originally want to do, my team always ends up the same. Heracross is one of those Pokemon that I just can't not use. For the first 3 generations, Heracross, in my opinion, was one of the only actual decent bug types. Most of them were extremely frail or had very poor move pools, but then along came this mighty beetle. For years, the bug type was polluted with moves like String Shot, Fury Cutter, Leech Life, and Twin Needle, and even when you did get decent moves like Silver Wind or Signal Beam, the Pokemon capable of learning them just couldn't use them to their advantage or weren't even bug types. But one day it all changed. When Heracross came along, he brought with him the wonderful gift known as Mega Horn. Combine 120 base power to move with Heracross's 125 physical attack, and not very much is going to survive that onslaught. And if it wasn't scary enough, Heracross comes packed with a fighting type as well. As if Mega Horn wasn't enough to make you run away, you also need to fear a Brick Break, or even worse, a close combat. Combine this with its abilities Guts or Moxie, and you're just begging to be swept. But for some reason, the Pokegods don't seem to think this bug was tough enough, because Generation 6 brought another gift in the form of the Heracronite. With this, Heracross can Mega Evolve, getting a major boost in his attack, as well as an increase in both defense stats, although he actually becomes slower. But with his new ability Skill Link, Heracross can actually take advantage of moves like Bullet Seed, Arm Thrust, Rock Blast, Fury Cutter, and Pin Missile, which actually becomes more powerful than the mighty Mega Horn. Yeah, wrap your brain around that one for a second. Pin Missile, better than Mega Horn. Did you know Mega Heracross is the highest base attack stat of any non-legendary Pokemon? That no other Pokemon has the same type combination as Heracross, and that Heracross is most likely based on the Japanese rhinoceros beetle, who is known for their incredible strength and their use in insect fighting, which apparently is a real thing. Number 3. Ledian. I have no idea who Ledian pissed off, but Game Freak seems to have a grudge against it. A fully evolved Pokemon with just 35 base physical attack and base 55 special attack. But what makes it worse is that it has 55 HP and 50 defense. So where does this Pokemon actually shine? It has 110 special defense, and is completely incapable of using it. Now, despite being my favorite generation Pokemon-wise, Generation 2 introduced a lot of Pokemon that were, well, shit. And Ledian might just take the cake. I don't even understand why they bothered putting Ledian in the game when they made it practically unusable with its abysmal stats and its extremely shallow move pool. But that won't stop me from loving Ledian, and I know I'm not the only one. My first experience using Ledian was in my Pokemon Blaze Black Nuzlocke, where I was actually pretty decent. With the abilities Iron Fist as well as the Elemental Punches and Drain Punch, he was a force to be reckoned with. Sadly, Lenora's overpowered Retaliate caused his life to end prematurely. He was only with me for 2 videos, but he won a place in my heart forever. I just don't understand why Game Freak won't give him a chance. The only elemental punch he gets is Thunder Punch, and it's a Dream World exclusive. He may have amazing special defense, but if you're playing a vanilla Pokemon game, you get more use out of throwing a rock. Did you know? Ledian is based off a ladybug. You know, in case that wasn't completely obvious. The number of stars on his back grow larger or smaller depending on the number of stars in the night sky, and that in the daytime when it gets warm, Ledian curls up inside a big leaf and drifts off into a deep slumber. Number 2. Lavake! Not gonna lie, if the Caterpie line didn't exist, more than likely the Sewaddle line would easily take the top of this list. I was having a tough time choosing between Sewaddle and Lavake since I can't use 2 Pokemon from the same evolutionary line. I decided to go with the usefulness over the design, as I personally think Sewaddle is the cuter of the 2, but I have a lot of good memories with Lavake. I use one in almost all my playthroughs of both Unova games. Normally, Bug Grass would be a horrible choice because of its typing, being quad weak to 2 types, as well as having 4 other weaknesses, although it does resist 5 other types to make up for it. But if used correctly, Lavake can be a force to be reckoned with. Switching against a water type, get off a Swords Dance on its already impressive 103 base attack, and go to town with its decent move pool including Leaf Blade, X Scissor, Poison Jab, Aerial Ace. Yeah, it's quad weak to fighting, Pokologic, Payback, Return, and for some reason, Steel Wing. But none of this is the main reason I fell for Lavake. For the first time in this top 5, we're going to be referencing the anime. Yeah, I'm surprised it took me this long too. Now, I only watched the first season of the black and white anime because if I continued, I more than likely would have started having nightmares of both Iris and Silent. But that was still enough time for me to grow fond of Ash's Lavake. But what is it that got me? Its voice. Just something about the way that it says its name mesmerized me and forced me to love it and use it on my team forever. Did you know? Lavake uses its leaves to make warm wrappings for Sewaddles, and Lavake's name is a combination of leaf and nanny, since it is often seen caring for smaller Pokemon. Number 1. Caterpie. Do I really need to say anything here? Like, can I just end a video or what? Anybody? Alright, let's do this. Listen up, chumps! You want to know why Caterpie is a god among gods? Why Arceus prays to him before going to sleep at night? Why Mewtwo wishes he was a clone of Caterpie instead of that derpy little cat? Well, I'll tell you. Caterpie is the Uber of the Uber, the O to the P. If you don't believe me, just wait and you'll see. From his nasty bug bite to his electro web breath, if you challenge this bug, it's sure to be your death. If you want to bring a rock, I say that's a fair fight, because I am a Caterpie, and I have a knife. After I'm finished with you, I'll go steal your girl. I'm 12 inches long, and I'll take her for a whirl. So ask me again, why is Caterpie the best? I say bring what you got, and we'll put it to the test. Team Caterpie will support me, 26,000 strong. Say Weedle is better, and I'll put it in my bong. The only thing that can face us is a Stantler or a Deerling, but that's only because that's my best friend, and I'm contractually obligated to include that. Fucking Rusty. So does that answer your question, why Caterpie's the bomb? I hope the answer is yes, because this is the end of the song. So guys, that's why I love Caterpie, and now I want to hear about your top 5. Leave your list in the comments down below and compare with everyone else. Warning, if you include Weedle, there's like a 60% chance you'll be blocked. So just thought I'd let you know. As always guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to leave a like to show your support. As always, until next time, I'm Hardy Tech Yo-Yo. Peace!